All right, so what we're talking about today is continuing to solve equations with variables on both sides, but we're going to really look at some special situations. So what happens when the variables drop out, and really two things that happen, and I'm going to explain to you what those things mean. So let's take a look at questions 1 and 2, and on questions 1 and 2, we notice that we have parentheses. We'll just start with number 1. And we go ahead and we're going to remove that parentheses because when we're solving, that's what we're supposed to do first, to simplify both sides of the equation. And so I go ahead and do that. And what I am noticing is I have 3 times x, or 3x, plus 3 times 2, which is 6, equals 3x plus 6. All right, what you might notice at this point is that you have the very same exact on both sides of the equation, and I have talked about this a little bit before, earlier on when we were solving equations. Let's say you don't notice that they're exactly the same. When they're exactly the same, by the way, this is called an identity. An identity is when we have the same identity on both sides. Okay, so I go ahead and I don't notice, and let's say I do like I'm doing, and I move the variables to one side. What happens is, instead of getting variables on one of the sides, I get 3x minus 3, which is 0, and I just have a 6 here, and then the 3x's cancel on this side, so I get a 6 there. And once again, this confirms that I have identity. These are the same. This is true. So what does that mean? Does that mean x equals 6? No, well, it doesn't mean x equals 6. What it means is you can put any number you want in for x, and it's always going to be true. Try it. Let's put 1 in. 3 times 1 plus 6 is 9. 3 times 1 plus 6 is 9. Okay. Let's put 2 in. 3 times 2 plus 6 is 12. 3 times 2 plus... Any number that you put in, because this is true, is going to always make this true. When you have that, when you have an identity, they're the exact same things on both sides of the equation, what that means is x can be any real number. And so there are an infinite number of solutions to that. Every single number is an answer. There's an infinite number of solutions. We just can't get one. Okay. Let's take a look at something else that happens. So we go ahead and we notice, oh, this looks kind of similar. So I have 3 times plus 3 times 2 equals 3x plus 4. Now, I have a 3x and a 3x there, but these things are not. Let's go ahead and see what happens when I subtract 3x from both sides this time. Okay, so the 3x minus 3x is gone. I get 6 equals 4. Okay, does 6 equal 4? No, this is never true. Okay. So almost think of it as this is over here was always true. I could put anything in for x, and I'm going to get an infinite number of answers because this is always true. But this time it's never true. What that means is this has no solution. There is nothing you could ever put in for x that will ever make it true, because it results in a false statement. 6 is never equal to 4. Okay. So today, what I'd like you to do, I'm going to give you a couple, is you're going to just on your homework assignment, you're going to identify if they are an identity or if they are something has no solution. And so you're going to see, we're going to refer back to some of the questions on our worksheet from their questions that I didn't ask you to do. Tomorrow we will continue on with special situations.